In this video, we will be making what is considered one of the most popular cocktails in the world, the margarita. We're also going to talk a little bit about the history, but we're going to focus at the end on a lot of different variations on this popular cocktail. Hi, I'm Chris from A Bar Above. I'm a 15-year veteran of the bar and a self-confessed cocktail nerd. So today we are going to be making the margarita, or a cocktail I like to call the Crazy Daisy. Now, the reason I like to call it a Crazy Daisy is because it is part of the Daisy family, which means 2 ounces of spirit, tequila in this case, 1 ounce of liqueur or Cointreau, and 1 ounce of acid or lime juice. That's kind of the format or the structure of a Daisy. The reason I call it crazy is because after a couple, tequilas, you're gonna get a little bit crazy. It is a stimulant after all. So we'll go ahead and make the cocktail and show you a couple variations, which I think are technically better. Like most cocktails in the world, the history of the margarita is a little bit muddied. Last time I counted, there's no less than 8, maybe 9 different stories on the origin. So Rob, the world's most overqualified barback, what's one of the stories that you've heard about the margarita?
Rita Hayworth.
Rita Hayworth, how so?
Well, the rumor has it that Rita spent some time down in Mexico, fell in love with the cocktail.
Okay.
That apparently didn't have a name, and so Rita became a part of it. Margarita. It's probably 100% wrong. But you know what? With these origin stories, most of them tend to be wrong, but they're just more fun. And I figured Rita Hayworth.
Rita Hayworth. All right. It's a good story, right? It makes
story.
sense. Yeah, and I think that's the most important. If it's a good story, most likely it'll probably catch on. The story that I heard was Carlos Danny Herrera down in La Gloria Ranch in Baja made this for one of his guests, Marjorie King, who was allergic to most other forms of alcohol, but not tequila. So, as you can see, many different origin stories. Love to hear the one you've heard in the comments below.
Don't take my Rita.
Rita. So let's go ahead and make the drink, shall we? As I mentioned before, it's a Daisy, so it's going to be 2 parts spirit, 1 part liqueur, and 1 part acid. So 2 ounces of tequila in this case, 1 ounce Cointreau, 1 ounce lime juice. So that's what we're going to put into this glass. Right, so here's a pro tip for you. If you like salt on your glass, now's the time to do it. If you pour your cocktail in here, you're not going to get salt on the glass. So I'm just going to go ahead and moisten the rim. I usually do half to give the customer the option if they like salt or not. If you like salt on yours, just go ahead and put salt on all of it then. There we are. Add some fresh ice. Now I always like to fine strain the cocktail because it removes the pulp from the fruit and those little tiny ice shards. And then you're probably just gonna either garnish with a wedge or a wheel of lime, and that is the classic margarita. And I think it could be a lot better, so let's talk about that. The reason why I think this cocktail is technically terrible...
It's not. It's just terrible.
It's not. The balance isn't there. The structure of the drink is just not great. You have 3 ounces essentially of base spirit. It's just too hot. There's not enough sweetness in there. So my preferred method, or my preferred cocktail, is actually the complete opposite. It's a Tommy style margarita done more of a sour family. So you're replacing the Cointreau with agave syrup or agave nectar. Much more balanced, much more... It's just a delicious cocktail. An even better one is more along the lines of a hybrid, where it's half an ounce of Cointreau, half an ounce of agave syrup. So, Rob, what's your favorite variation on the margarita?
Tommy's hybrid.
Yep, it's a good one.
The Crazy Daisy.
The Crazy Daisy.
Although, there's one that I hold above all else.
Okay.
The spicy margarita. The spicy Crazy Daisy.
It's a good one too, and you can go a lot of different ways. You can go just all out and go habanero, serrano, jalapeno. You got a lot to choose from when it comes to adding that spicy note, and you can do it in a couple different techniques. Infusion, simple syrup, make a pepper syrup, or you can do a fresh muddle. What's your preferred technique?
Muddled if I'm lazy.
Yep.
Infusion if I have time.
Okay.
Syrup if I'm making it for friends.
Perfect. Yeah, and with the syrup, you can have a lot more control over it. You can dial in the heat, but the muddling, you could really just pour on that heat if you really want to.
Oh.
So yeah, that's
Rita would love it.
Spicy Rita.
Well, actually, I will say I feel like there's one margarita variation that my girl Rita
Okay.
would love above the others.
Sure.
And it's one of those that is named after this classic American car. It always escapes me. The Cadillac.
The Cadillac. And that's a good one too. That is essentially just a float of Grand Marnier across the top. So you're adding even more alcohol, but the Grand Marnier adds a lot of weight to it as well. But it is very alcohol focused. But yeah, those are all the classic variations. Give them all a try and tell us which one you like the most. So there we have it. The margarita, the classic margarita. And why we think the hybrid version is much, much better. So we're going to make some more videos of cocktails in the future. We're going to get a little crazy, a little weird.
Crazy Daisy.
Crazy Daisy. So you guys have watched YouTube videos before. You know what we're going to ask you to do. Hit the like, subscribe, and the bell, and you're going to get notified whenever we release another video. But until then, I hope you guys have some great cocktails. Drink what you like, and cheers, everyone.
Rita.
Rita Hayworth.